For those of you who don't know me, Brian Daniels, I'm married to my wife Liz over here for 39 years. We have 4 children, 7 grandchildren. I've worked as a mechanic most of my life. Being in politics was not on my bucket list. 2 years ago, probably more like 3 years ago, I can remember watching TV and looking at the news and getting upset what's happening in the Capitol. And that next February, my sister, Representative O'Neill, called up and said, Brian, we're looking for a representative to be a candidate for District 24B. You know if anybody wants to run? And I found the people at the church, I found the people, my neighbors, my friends that I knew. And I said, no, Marion, I can't think of anybody. She said, well, what about you? And I'm not the fastest person, so it took me a while, but finally the light bulb went on. And kind of give you a little bit of history how that led up to it. Try to keep this shorter. I'm here because of at least 14 miracles that I can read off. And in 1997, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and doctors at that point gave me 5 to 10 years to live. There's exact words as we could probably prolong your life 5 to 10 years. So I thought the doctors knew what they were talking about, so I kind of just worked as much overtime as I could, paid as many bills off as I could, spent as much time with my wife and family as we could. Good excuse to my pool table, good excuse to my new pontoon boat, because you know what, we're looking up now because I want to spend time with the family. And we got through the 11th and 12th year and got an MRI, and nothing had changed. The next year went by, and I'm going like, okay, God, I'm still here, and I don't know why. I don't have a purpose. I've been working at Northern Tool Equipment for about 16, 17 years. I moved my way up the ladder from mechanic to head of the warranty department for Northern Tool Manufacturing. I was good at my job. I get good at my sleep. I was getting kind of bored at it, and I kind of was looking for a new challenge. And I kept praying, and we kept praying, and I'm still alive. There's got to be a purpose. There's got to be a purpose. And it was just about a year later that my sister called up in February. I say, well, sometimes it's slow, but that light bulb would come on. And I remember going to the first caucus meeting in the high school cafeteria and trying to put my glasses on and trying to hold my speech that I had prepared. And it was just about the most embarrassing and horrible thing that I can remember. Because I'll just give you a little thing about me. I'm about as not good at speaking in front of people as you can get. If I was hungry and I was by myself as a teenager and young adult, I would not go into a restaurant alone. It just was, I was just uncomfortable doing that. So when God kind of put me in this direction, I found out He's got a real sixth sense of humor. A guy like me is going to be doing speeches like this, and it's gotten easier. My sister and a bunch of other representatives, Chair Davids and Chair Kaskowski and my sister, Representative O'Neill, have really worked with me, coached me, encouraged me, and I spent a lot of time just listening and learning. In fact, on the floor, I think with John and Greg there, they would testify that I'm probably the most quiet person on the floor, but I was so new to it, I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on, and it's been a fantastic experience. I just hope that I get to go back again the next year. We did some really good things. It was nice. We had a nice balance. At the end of the year, we didn't get the tax bill signed. Sorry, Chair Davids. I'm still believing. I'm never going to stop believing. And we didn't get the bonding bill passed with all the road money in there. But we had a good balance. We had taken care of our nursing homes, new monies. Give you an idea, Pleasant Manor got an increase of 20%. St. Luke's got an 18% increase in funding. We took care of K through 12 with a lot of new money. It was a historical amount, if I remember right. In new monies, we took care of K through 12. We defeated the wholesale gas tax. We defeated the universal pre-K, which would have been somewhere between $2 and $3 billion in new taxes, one way or another. Because if you got universal pre-K, you'd be taxed from the state. But then they have to build more classrooms, so that you'd have a local levy that would have to get passed. You'd be taxed from both sides. So we did some good things. We stopped some bad things. And what I'm most proud of is we had the second smallest increase in 50 years. In fact, before we passed the supplemental bill, which has the 18,000 veterans that are retired will no longer be taxed in Minnesota income tax. So before we passed that supplemental bill, we were tied for the lowest spending increase in 50 years. So I go to the doors and I say, we did a lot of good stuff, we stopped the bad stuff, and we kept the spending to one of the lowest in 50 years. And you know what, I'll hang my hat on that. If we can keep doing that, keep the majority in the House, if we're fortunate enough, we're gonna take the Senate, and then we can put a really good pressure push to Mr. Governor Davey, and see if we can get some things passed through that are good for Minnesota. And it's just been a pleasure to be a part of that. I gotta let you know, we have such good leadership up there. When I'm knocking at the doors, I'll say, I know I'm not the smartest man at the Capitol, but I know the smartest people at the Capitol. We work so well together, it's a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for coming.